Sure.
After every session, I will share with you.
Okay. So it's okay, like if I click the record button so
No,
that
I'm
the
recording,
copy.
no problem.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
recording. So let's start today our topic discussion first.
Right.
So we are discussing about Cisco ASE firewall. So these are the topics.
Mm-hmm.
These are the topics we can discuss in our complete training. Wait, let me copy this complete text file.
So these are same, like whatever contents shared earlier.
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
it's all official content.
Right.
Cisco official content. Wait. Okay, so these are the topics which we can discuss in our complete training. Kashif.
Right. Right.
Total duration for this training is approx 26 to 28 hours.
Right.
What I can provide you from my side, I can provide you slides. I have
Mm-hmm.
proper notes for each and every topic. So slides and notes you can see. Lab
Right.
setup software where you can perform all the labs. So
Mm-hmm.
software for lab setup.
Right.
I can also help you how to set up the lab. The minimum requirement for this lab setup, you need to have 8 GB RAM minimum in your
Mm-hmm.
laptop, in your desktop
Yeah,
machine.
that's
8
available.
GB. Okay. So let's start our topic discussion today. So the first topic is called basic configuration about Cisco ASE. What is
Right.
basic configuration? So here we can discuss the product family because
Mm-hmm.
we guys are familiar with the Cisco routers. Okay,
Right.
Cisco
Right.
routers, Cisco switches. So we know the series about routers and switches. But
Right.
right now we are working with the with the Cisco ASE firewall. So
Right.
we need to know the product family. Okay,
Right.
which series is good for a small organization, or in
Mm-hmm.
case if I'm working in a big organization. So
Mm-hmm.
what series of the firewall box I need to purchase? Or
Right.
in case if I'm working in a data center or in a virtualization scenario,
Mm-hmm.
so which series I can prefer? So
Okay.
product family information we can discuss, and we can also discuss the features.
Mm-hmm.
Why Cisco ASA?
Right.
Because in market we have multiple vendors for firewall features. So why
True.
Cisco ASA?
Mm-hmm.
So we have multiple features to discuss why Cisco ASA. Then we can
Right.
go on. Then we can go on to the basic configuration.
Right.
Okay, I can tell you some basic configuration through CLI,
Mm-hmm.
like show command. Okay, show
Right.
command. All the show command we can discuss how to take a backup, how to upgrade operating system. So these are the part of the basic configuration. It means
Mm-hmm.
only this topic will take 2 to 3 hours.
Right. Right.
Basic configuration. Okay, once you complete your basic configuration, so we can focus on interface configuration. Interface, like how to configure a physical interface,
Right.
how to configure a physical interface on Cisco ASA firewall device, like
Okay.
a LAN interface or WAN interface or DMZ interface.
Right.
Okay, after interface configuration, you can go on to the traffic flow, how traffic is traveling through the firewall device.
Okay.
Because we are working with Cisco ASE, and Cisco ASE firewall works with a concept is called security level.
Okay.
It's called security level. So what is
Right.
security level? We can discuss here. We can
Okay.
discuss security level concept. In security level, I can tell you how traffic will travel through the Cisco ASA firewall. It's very important.
Okay.
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 After that, we can go on to the remote management. In case if you want to access your Cisco ASA firewall through telnet, through SSH. So yes,
Right.
we can focus on remote management.
Right.
Okay, like Palo Alto, Fortinet, Checkpoint, Cisco, Firepower Threat Defense. Okay, so we can configure routing feature like other vendor. See, we
Okay.
have a routing discussion, but for routing, we have a dedicated device. It's called router, right?
True.
We can use a router device for routing feature.
Right.
So why we are using? Because we are using firewall device for firewall feature, not for routing feature, right? So why we are configuring routing? So I can tell you the scenario why we are using routing concept on Cisco ASA. But this is the option.
Okay.
Vendors, Cisco is giving you the option like other vendor. You can also configure routing concept like
Okay.
static routing, default routing.
Mm-hmm.
In this training, I'm not telling you what is static routing story, what is default
Right.
routing,
Right.
what is rep.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
this is a story you already know from Ccnp classes.
Mm-hmm.
Here I can tell you how to configure these routing methods like the static, default, and dynamic rep, EHRP, and OSPO on Cisco ASA firewall.
Right.
Okay, why we are configuring routing for basic connectivity? For basic connectivity, yes, we need to configure routing option because in case if our firewall device is acting as a layer 3 device, layer 3 firewall, so yes, we need to configure routing.
Okay.
If your box is acting as a layer 3 firewall box.
Right.
Okay, so for basic connectivity, yes, we can go on to the routing section.
Right.
After that, we can go on to the ACL. So in
Okay.
Cisco ASE firewall for packet filtering, are
Mm-hmm.
using this concept is called access control list. It's a basic topic.
True. True.
If you remember CCNA classes, so in CCNA,
Yeah.
yes, we have completed this section.
Right.
ACL is called. We have two type of ACL is
Yeah.
called
Standard and
standard
extended. Yeah.
ACL, yes, and extended ACL, right?
Right.
So in Cisco ASA, if you want to filter your packet, you can go with the ACL. In Palo Alto, you can create security policy. In Fortinet, you can create firewall policy. In Checkpoint
Okay.
Firewall Box, you can configure access control policy. In
Okay.
Cisco Firepower Threat Defense, you can configure access policy. So they all are the same. Okay,
Okay.
they
So
all
so
are the same.
access policy and ACL, they are same thing or like
They
they are.
all are access policy, firewall policy. Okay, security policy, access control policy. They all are the same. But
And
in
ACL.
ACL, we have limited option.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, but the concept is same. In
Okay.
access
Got it.
in access policy, what we can define? We can define source IP, destination IP,
Mm-hmm.
okay, incoming interface, outgoing interface. We
Mm-hmm.
can define same
Right.
option
Right.
we have in ACL. In Cisco ASA, you cannot configure standard ACL. There is no
Right.
option. There is no option.
Right. True.
In,
True.
in Cisco ASA, you can only configure extended access list.
Right.
And if you remember your extended access list, extended required source and
Port number.
destination IP and port
Right.
number and
Right.
protocol, right?
Right.
So ACL is just like it's a packet filtering firewall technique,
Mm-hmm.
and in all firewall box we have this technique, but in Cisco in ACL we have some limitation option. In
Right.
case if
Right.
you go with the Cisco FTD access policy, so yes, we can add some advanced feature like we can allow, block any application, any URL. Okay, so this is the different part. But
Right.
ACL is called access control list. To filter our packet, we can go with the ACL concept. Clear my point?
Yeah.
Okay. After that, we can focus on NAT concept. It's a common topic. NAT
Right.
is a common topic for any firewall device.
Right.
See, if you remember CCNA classes, so uh, what is NAT? NAT we are using for translation.
Right.
We can translate from one IP to another
To
IP,
other IP. Yeah.
or you can say we can translate private into public or public into
True.
private. And
True.
for translation, we have three options. First one is called static NAT, right? Static NAT. Second, we all know dynamic NAT, and third is PAT, port
Right.
address translation.
Right.
So we have these options. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
in CCNA class. But in Cisco ASA firewall, we can discuss two options.
Mm-hmm.
We can discuss source NAT concept,
Mm-hmm.
and second option we can focus on destination NAT.
Okay.
Destination NAT.
Okay. Got
So
it.
here in this section is important. NAT
Right.
concept.
Right.
Only NAT will take minimum 3 to 4 hours with
Right.
theoretical and practical implementation.
Right.
So first I can tell you what is source NAT scenario. In source NAT, we can focus on three lab: static NAT,
Mm-hmm.
dynamic NAT, and PAT option.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a separate discussion on destination NAT scenario and configuration. Clear?
Right.
Okay. Now, next topic is called object group. So this is called what? Advanced ACL concept.
Okay.
Object group is an advanced ACL. You can
Right.
only configure on Cisco ASE file.
Okay.
Okay. So yes, you can configure ACL, but if you talk about advanced ACL concept, so this is called object group. I can tell you what is the concept, why we are using
Mm-hmm.
in topic. Okay. Right
Right.
now I'm giving you the basic idea.
True.
So
True.
object group is called what? Advanced ACL concept.
Mm-hmm.
Next topic is called what? Next generation IP implementation on Cisco ASE.
Mm-hmm.
So what is IPv6? Okay, what is IPv6? And in case if you want to configure IPv6 address on any interface, on any Cisco ASA firewall interface, so how to configure? And in
Okay.
case if you want to configure IPv6 routing on your Cisco ASA firewall, so yes, we can focus on routing section.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, after that we can go on to the transparent firewall. What is transparent firewall? Remember always, you can use your firewall device as a L3 firewall device, or
Mm-hmm.
you can use your firewall device as a L2 firewall.
Okay.
So what is L3 firewall device? L3 firewall known as NAT mode firewall. This
Mm-hmm.
is called what? NAT mode firewall.
Right.
So in case if you are working with any NAT mode firewall device, for example, here we have a firewall. So in case if you are working with any NAT mode firewall, so you can configure IP address onto these interfaces, because this
Mm-hmm.
firewall is acting as a layer 3, and
Mm-hmm.
these interfaces are acting as a layer 3 interfaces. So you can
Right.
configure IP address onto these interfaces. You can configure routing onto this firewall, NAT onto this firewall, VPN, and yes, it's a firewall, so you can use firewall feature.
Okay.
Okay, but in case if we are using this firewall device, in case
Mm-hmm.
if we are using this firewall device as a layer 2 firewall. So
Okay.
layer 2 firewall is known as transparent. It's a common topic, Kashif.
Right.
It's a common topic. If you go with any firewall builder, it's a common topic.
Mm-hmm.
So in case if this device is acting as a layer 2 firewall, it means I'm talking about transparent firewall.
Right.
So in case
Oh.
if this device is acting as a layer 2 firewall device, so these
Mm.
these interfaces these interfaces are acting as a layer 2 interfaces. It's not a switchboard.
Okay. Okay.
It's not a switchboard, but these interfaces are acting as a layer 2 interface.
Right.
Means,
So just quick information. It's
yes,
not on
yes.
top of my head, like a transparent firewall. What it is like? What's the difference like?
I'm telling you, wait.
Oh, okay.
See, so in case, see, if this firewall device is acting as a layer 2 firewall device,
Mm-hmm.
so see, you cannot configure IP address onto these interfaces,
Oh,
okay?
okay. We
Because
cannot
these
assign
IP
IP
address,
addresses on the interfaces. Okay.
yes, because these interfaces are acting as a layer 2 interface. It's not a switch port, it's a layer
Mm-hmm.
2 interface. It means we cannot configure IP address onto this interface.
Right.
Next, we cannot configure routing, we cannot configure NAT, no, we cannot configure VPN, no, but it's a firewall, so we can use firewall feature. So the point is what? With layer 3 firewall, we have great feature, right? With layer 3
Yes.
firewall, we have great feature. We can configure IP address on interface. In case if I want to connect my firewall device with internet, so yes, I can connect my layer 3 device because I can configure routing onto the device. So with layer 3 firewall box, we have a great feature. We can configure routing, NAT, VPN concept. But with layer 2 firewall device, we have limitations, right? We cannot configure these options. Kashyap?
Yes. So
So,
so in
so,
that
so the
case, what
point
we
is, so
can
the point
configure?
is, yes, yes, Kashyap.
Yeah. So in that case, what we can configure in L2 firewall?
I'm telling you, we see.
Ah, okay.
So the point
Okay.
is, in which scenario we can use our firewall device as a layer 2? In which scenario? Because see, with layer 3 firewall device, we have great feature, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with layer 2, we have limited feature, limited
Mm-hmm.
options. Let's discuss, no problem. We can discuss this topic in this into this transparent firewall box,
Sure.
but let's discuss right now. So so for example, I'm working in a small scenario. I'm working in a
Right.
small scenario. For example, I'm working with a routing switching scenario. So
Right.
everything is working fine into this topology. I have a
Right.
small routing and switching topology. This is
Mm-hmm.
switch.
Mm-hmm.
I have
Right.
multiple computers. So everything is working fine into this topology. Now, as an administrator, I want to deploy a firewall here.
Okay.
Now I want to add a deploy because I want to filter my packet.
Right.
So before deploy your firewall device, you can see you have a LAN network, right? This is your subnet.
Correct.
This is your WAN site subnet.
Right.
Okay. So now, in case if I'm trying to deploy my firewall device here
Mm-hmm.
as a L3, as a
Okay.
L3 firewall device
Right.
into this existing scenario, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to deploy my firewall device as a L3 firewall device, so this firewall is L3. It means
Right.
these interface. It means what? It means these interfaces. These interfaces
True.
are acting as a layer 3 interface.
Right.
So each interfaces are participating in different subnet.
Correct.
So in my existing scenario, I need to change my IP address scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Now my single subnet is divided into two different subnets, right?
True. True.
That is the issue. Okay, in case if you want to deploy, so yes, you can change your IP address scheme, you can deploy, you can configure, you can use, no problem, no problem. But in case if you don't want to change your IP address scheme in your existing scenario, okay?
Okay.
If you don't want
So
to
just
change,
one question. In this
Mhm.
scenario, why we have to change IP address? Because
because
if
it's
it's
this
L3,
because it's a L3 firewall device. Kasha,
right.
if you
Right.
are trying to deploy because I need to deploy my firewall device inline mode, right? Because this is a cable.
Correct.
This is a cable. So I'm trying to deploy in inline mode, and this device is acting as a L3 device. So yes, you need to configure IP address here because it's L3 interface.
Correct. Correct.
This interface is L3. So
True.
what you can do, you need to change your IP address scheme. Your single existing subnet is divided now into different subnets.
Right.
You have to change complete IP address scheme in your network. It's not a
Like
big,
which?
it's not a
Ah,
problem.
okay.
It's not a
Okay.
problem if you want, for example, if you want to deploy as a L3. You can change. This will take time, but you can change, and you can
Right.
deploy and you can use, right?
So,
But the
so one question here,
Mhm.
if it is L3 firewall, so as I understand, we can directly do routing here. So I don't know why we have to change.
I don't want to remove this route. I told you I'm trying
Okay.
to deploy my firewall device
Mm-hmm.
into my existing scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
everything is
Okay.
working fine.
Got it.
Firewall I'm
Got it.
using
Got
only
it.
for firewall features.
Okay. Got it. Got it. With router in place.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so now what we have seen. Okay, so now if you don't want to change, for example, if you don't want to change your IP address scheme in your existing scenario and
Mm-hmm.
you want to deploy a firewall device, so yes, you can deploy your firewall device as a L2 firewall, as a
Mm-hmm.
L2.
Okay.
This device is acting as a layer 2 firewall device, layer 2
Mm-hmm.
firewall device. So these interfaces are acting as a layer 2 interface. No need
Okay.
to configure IP address. But yes, this interface is a part of LAN, so you can say LAN.
Mm-hmm.
This interface is called WAN, for example.
Right.
So now you have a single subnet. Clear my point?
Right. Correct.
So the point is where we can deploy our firewall, our layer 2 firewall. So in your existing scenario, in your live network, if you want to deploy a firewall device and you don't want to change your IP address scheme, try to deploy your firewall device as a layer 2, as a
Okay.
transparent firewall. Okay,
Okay.
now,
Got it.
but we
Got
have
it.
some, but we have limitation now. Now this firewall device we cannot connect. Now we have limitation. Now this device
Mm-hmm.
we cannot connect with internet, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
With internet because there is a limitation. We cannot configure
Correct.
routing, NAT,
Correct.
VPN. No.
Correct.
I hope Kashiv it's clear the scenario.
Just one question, like
Mhm.
when it is in transparent mode, what about how it will know like source IP, destination
I
IP,
will tell
and
you we have a topic,
oh,
Kashiv.
okay, got it.
Right now for your question, I'm telling you the basic idea.
Mm-hmm.
We have a proper topic to discuss.
Okay, got it.
What is layer 2 firewall device? How to work, how to configure interfaces, okay, how traffic is traveling through the transparent firewall box. We'll discuss, no
Mm-hmm.
problem.
Okay, great.
Okay, the next option we can go with the see. So these three options are related with the transparent firewall.
Okay.
We can discuss basic initialization. It means how to work with layer 2 firewall, how to configure access policies on layer 2 firewall device, and we have a ether type ACL concept.
Mm-hmm.
Remember always ether type ACL you can only configure when your device is in a transparent mode.
Okay,
So what is ether type ACL? Why we are using? We'll discuss.
sure.
So these are the topics. These topics are related with transparent firewall.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Kashif, clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Next topic. Next topic we can focus on redundancy. So here we can discuss two type of redundancy matter. It's called a redundant interface concept and
Mm-hmm.
port channel. Remember this port channel? It's an ether channel.
Mm-hmm. Right.
If you remember Ccnp, so it's an ether channel concept. Port
Okay.
channel you can
Okay.
say or ether channel. So
Right.
how to work with any redundant interface, how to configure on Cisco ASE, and how
Mm-hmm.
to configure port channel option. We can discuss in
Okay.
interface level redundancy concept.
Okay.
After that, you can go on to the virtual firewall system. What is virtual firewall? We can divide our single firewall device into multiple virtual firewall.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
For example, this is a firewall device, and this firewall device is connected with a switch. We
Mm-hmm.
have multiple departments in LAN side, for example.
Right.
Uh, Multiple departments is called marketing department,
Mm-hmm.
sales department, HR department, HR department. Now, marketing, sales, and HR. So in case if I want to configure separate type of NAT policy, routing configuration, VPN configuration for each department, or you can say for marketing and for sales, I want dedicated L3 firewall device, and for
Mm-hmm.
HR department, I want layer 2 firewall. Kashif.
Right.
Into this scenario, into this small topology, I need to
Okay.
purchase three separate boxes.
True.
Okay, so but if I'm going with the three separate boxes, then the cost is very high. What
That's
we can
correct.
do, we can purchase a single big box, and with the help of license, you can divide your single firewall box into multiple virtual firewall device. Multiple
Okay.
virtual firewall device. See what you can do. You can divide your single firewall box into multiple virtual firewall. Now we have
Right.
now we have firewall 1, firewall 2, firewall 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, and these interfaces are called resources. I will tell you in detail. Okay, right now I'm
Sure.
telling you the
Sure.
basic idea, Kashif.
Sure.
It's a basic concept.
Yeah.
So now marketing traffic is traveling via marketing firewall box.
Mm-hmm.
Sales traffic is traveling via sales. HR traffic is traveling via. So now we have three independent units. Firewall
Okay.
box 1 don't know anything about firewall 2 and firewall 3.
Right.
Yeah. So
Clear.
this concept is called in Cisco ASE, this concept is called security context.
Okay.
So we can create multiple context here.
Mm-hmm.
If you go into the 14.8, this is called VDOM concept.
Okay.
If you go into the Palo Alto, this is called virtual system.
Okay.
So we can divide our single firewall box into multiple virtual firewall box.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay, so next concept is called failover. It's important failover concept. It's a common topic. In Cisco, you can say failover. In Palo Alto, you can say high availability. In
Mm-hmm.
Fortinet, you can say high availability. In
Okay.
Checkpoint, you can say clustering method.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
what is failover concept? For example, I have a small scenario, firewall box one, a small scenario with firewall device, LAN and WAN connectivity. Everything is working fine into this topology. We have an IP address onto this fast Ethernet 0/0, fast
Mm-hmm.
Ethernet 0/1, for example, 192.168.10.1,
Mm-hmm.
10.1 dot on the 3 dot. So now we have a proper IP address configuration onto this firewall device, routing configuration, VPN, NAT, everything is working fine.
Right.
Traffic is traveling, traffic is traveling through this firewall device.
Right.
But into this topology, we have a single firewall box.
Correct.
We have a single device. In case if this box goes down, then we lost connectivity. Your LAN user, they cannot go onto the internet side. They cannot access internet services. So
Right.
that's why what we can do, because there is no any backup. So what we can do, we can go with the failover concept. We
Mm-hmm.
can add one more firewall device into topology. Now I need to topology. I need to change my topology now because now I'm using my second firewall box. This is your switch 2. This is your switch 1.
Right.
WAN connectivity. So now this is your topology. So second firewall box I'm using for failover.
Mm-hmm.
In failover, we have two concepts. We can discuss active standby and active active.
Okay.
What is active standby? In active standby, one firewall box is acting as an active device, and second firewall box is acting as a passive, or you can say
Mm-hmm.
standby box.
Right.
Second firewall box is acting as a backup or standby. Okay, we have a failover link in between firewall box 1 and firewall box 2. This is called FN, failover
Okay.
link. What is failover link? Why we are creating? Okay, how to configure? We'll
Mm-hmm.
discuss in detail.
Sure.
Okay, but let's discuss right now the concept, basic concept.
Sure.
So one device is acting as an active and second device is acting as a passive in active standby scenario. All the traffic is traveling via active device because this device is active and this device is called what? Forwarded firewall.
Okay.
So traffic is traveling via firewall box 1. In case if this box goes down, then your standby device will become active now,
Okay.
automatically, and now your
Mhm.
traffic is traveling via your firewall box 2.
Okay. And this is like bumpless, like with there will be no drop of ping or something, or some drop will
I
happen.
will tell you about the time interval, everything. Okay, when
Right.
your firewall device will act as active. What is the time difference? I will tell you.
Okay.
Hello interval and yes.
But in general, like it's some drop happens or it's like
Yes, a
bumpless.
little drop, little drop.
Little drop. Okay.
I can show you with practical. Okay,
Okay. Sure.
I can
Sure.
show you with practical. Okay, we can generate our traffic here and we can power off one device.
Hmm.
Then we can see little.
Okay.
Okay,
Great. Great.
but the point is what in active passive you can only utilize one firewall device,
Correct.
only one firewall device, and second firewall device is acting as a stand. But in case if you want to use all the firewall box into your failover concept. For example,
Hmm.
I want to utilize both the firewall device. So
Hmm.
yes, I can go with active active.
Okay.
So in active active, you can utilize both the firewall box. It means some
Okay.
traffic you can send via firewall box one, other traffic you can send via firewall box two. So what we can do, we can go with the active standby, we can go with the active active. Only this topic will take minimum 4 to 5 hours.
Right.
Only this active. Now we can discuss deep packet inspection. See, Cisco ASE is not a next generation firewall. Okay, remember always.
Okay.
It's a second generation firewall.
Okay.
So whenever you want to learn firewall technology, always start with Cisco ASE because
Okay.
this will give you the basic idea.
Got
Okay.
it.
Now, in Cisco ASE, it support deep packet inspection.
Hmm.
This is called MPF, Modular Policy Framework. So what is deep
Okay.
packet inspection? We can discuss the concept first. What is deep
Hmm.
packet inspection in Cisco ASE? After that, we can go with the global policy. For deep packet inspection, we have a default global policy. Kasha.
Okay.
So what is the default global policy? Okay. Okay. And in case if I want to create or configure our custom policy for deep packet inspection, so yes, we have a concept. So
Right.
first I will tell you the concept about what is deep packet inspection
Hmm.
and what is default global policy for deep packet inspection in Cisco ASE.
Right.
And in case if you want to create or configure your custom policy for deep packet inspection, we can.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
See, now next topic we can focus on how to access your Cisco ASE with
Okay.
graphical page. See,
Okay.
most of the configuration we can configure with the graphical page. Sorry, just
Okay.
CLI option.
Okay.
But yes, I can tell you the both how to configure all the options with graphical
Right.
because you can manage your Cisco ASA firewall with CLI and graphical.
Right.
So I can tell
So
you the both how to
right.
work with CLI. This is our
Right.
concept. But how to
So
work with the graphical page? For example, in case if I want to configure failover with
hmm
graphical page.
Right.
If I want to configure NAT with graphical page, how to configure? If I want to configure routing with graphical page, how to
Right.
configure
Right.
interface? So I will tell
Right.
you all option, okay? So we
Okay.
have a separate section how to access Cisco ASA firewall with graphic.
Right. So here we
Now,
will be using Cisco ASDM
yes, yes,
software
yes,
or
ESDM,
okay.
yes, exactly, ESDM,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Okay. Great.
Okay. Now we can focus on VPN concept. VPN again
Hmm.
is a common topic.
Hmm.
First, I can tell you what is the VPN concept, virtual private network. What is the feature? After that, we can go on to the implementation. So we
Okay.
have two type of VPN: IPsec VPN and SSL VPN. SSL
Right.
VPN concept. IPsec VPN we can use for site do site-to-site VPN connectivity. Site
Okay.
to site VPN. If we have multiple branch offices,
Okay.
if you want to connect multiple branch office over this public network in a secure manner, so you can go with the site to site. For
Okay.
site to site, we can always prefer IPsec. Okay, we have another kind of VPN. It's called remote access VPN.
Okay.
In remote access VPN, home user, or you can say remote user, can access company private resources. For example, here you have a home user.
Right.
Okay, home user, or you can say remote user.
Right.
He has simple Wi-Fi modem at his home. The
Right.
Wi-Fi modem is connected, and now he's trying to access this outside user, this home user, this remote user. He's trying to access company private resources.
Correct. Correct.
For example, here we have web server or SMTP server or DNS server,
Right.
FTP server. So this outside remote user is trying to access company private resources over this public network. So he need to establish a connection. Is called
Correct.
remote
Remote
access
access.
VPN connection.
Right.
Once
This
the
is the
connection,
same like Cisco Connect, right? The
Cisco
application.
AnyConnect is the example.
AnyConnect. Oh, okay.
Cisco
Okay.
AnyConnect is an example for remote access VPN implementation.
Okay.
So what you can do, you can establish a connection.
Mm-hmm.
Once this connection will establish this remote access VPN, then he is allowed to access company private resources.
Okay.
For remote access VPN implementation, you can go with the IPsec or you can go with the SSL VPN. Both options are available for
Okay.
remote access VPN. Now, our focus is on SSL VPN for remote access VPN implementation, and in SSL VPN, we can discuss two options: client-less SSL VPN, and second is called what? Full client. This is called AnyConnect. Kashif.
Okay.
Full
Okay.
client is called what? AnyConnect concept.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the topic. So these are the topics which we can discuss in our complete training. I hope it's clear.
Yeah.
So let me share this video recording. Okay, let's start our first topic from tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Kashif, this is just introduction session today,
Sure.
and we can start our topic from tomorrow.
Okay.
So
And what about the lab setup? Like at
I will
which
share.
point?
I will share. Okay, I will
Okay.
share. I will share on your mail ID. I will share a lab setup drive and slides, notes, and this
Okay.
recording notes.
Okay. Great.
I will share
So
in our notebook.
sure. And that email will have steps like how to like what will be there in that email?
Sorry.
Like what will be in that email? Like it will be the steps to set up the lab or what?
Let me share today. Okay, I will help you tomorrow. How to
Okay.
download
Okay.
which file you have to download or you need to download. I will tell you.
Okay. Great.
Okay. Okay, Kashif. Let's start our topic from tomorrow. Okay, dear.
Sure. No issues.
Bye, Kashif. Take care, dear.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Bye.
On your side, it's a night, right?
Yeah, on my side, it's a night. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Bye, dear.
again,
Good
like
night,
it's
dear. Bye.
good night. Bye. Bye.